The Mountain West Championship is here. And to be perfectly honest, it's yet another reason why I think so many teams left to go to the pack, to the new pack. But, UNLV had an amazing season. Boise, not so much. Uh, they're 8-4. Now, their only in-conference losses were to Fresno State and San Diego State. Maddox Madsen was hurt. They played a close one against Utah State. And to be perfectly honest, that one I'm not surprised about. Utah State, the Aggies are a good team. Dan Mullins has got the Rebels going at a high capacity right now. But at the same time, he has one quarterback basically. But that one quarterback is one of the better quarterbacks in the group of five, one of the better quarterbacks in the nation. I Anthony Calendar can't say anything bad about him. Here's a guy that started at UVA, left, comes to the Rebels doing some amazing things. Unfortunately, Maddox Madsen, their QB1 at Boise State, got hurt. Here's a guy that bleeds blue through and through. He's never left the university, but they're having to rely on their QB2, Max Cutforth. Both teams have some interesting injuries that are going to play key roles in this game. Both these teams are coached at a high level. Spencer Danielson and Dan Mullen are high level coaches. I really don't know where to go on this game right this minute. I've got an idea, but Boise, I think, the worst off because of injuries. I really do. They are not the same teams that they were before. So we're going to see. And so we're going to take a look at this by the numbers. Now, if you like group of five football, if you like college football, hit like, hit subscribe. Also, if you like college sports, because after I get done with college football, I do women's gymnastics. Also, I have a link tree down below. Got a Patreon in it. Got to plug my Patreon. Now, let's get into this game. Hey, folks. Before we get into this video, let me stress a few things. The team that makes the fewest mistakes will win. Play for and make the breaks. When one comes your way, score. These are the first two of General Robert Nealon's 7-game maxims. They're also, has been proven by folks that use these maxims in their life, some of whom went into combat in World War II. It can help you shape your life a little bit better. So, enjoy the sports on this channel, but also think about those two maxims. Now, let's get into this. Now, UNLV Rebels are visiting, so we'll cover them first. Anthony Calendar, 238 of 349, 3,050 yards through the air. Thrown 22 touchdowns, had 8 interceptions, been sacked 22 times. Mine's decent. So they've got 23 touchdowns overall, 8 interceptions, 22 sacks. Not bad numbers at all. Now, rushing, Jet Thomas, got 127 carries, 944 yards, 12 touchdowns, 70-yard long run. Anthony Calendra got 106 carries, 556 yards, 8 touchdowns. They got Kevon Lee's got 6 touchdowns on 89 and 377. Let me double check a couple of things. Nope, none of those are questionable or hurt. So, on the receiving, they got 30 touchdowns on the ground. Through the air, Jaden Bradley, 51 catches, 834 yards, 56-yard long run, 4 touchdowns. Troy Omer, 27 for 472, 68-yard long run, 4 touchdowns. So hey, they're doing the work right there. They are doing the work right there. Now, Dejon Reynolds, 29 catches, 431 yards, 86-yard long run, 5 touchdowns. Tayshawn Lyons, 10 for 187, 3 touchdowns. Barkeys Gums, 11 catches, 168 yards, 3 touchdowns. For their 23 touchdowns through the air, because they got a few other guys got catches and touchdowns. Now, defense. They're getting to the opposing quarterback 28 times this year. 41 pass deflections, 13 interceptions. They've scored on 3 of those. Those are some decent numbers on the pass defense, and them getting to the opposing quarterbacks, good numbers. They know how to get to that. 7 forced fumbles, 8 fumble recoveries, not bad numbers. Could be a little bit better. Leading tacklers, Marcel McDuffie, 94 tackles, 2 sacks, 3 pass deflections, 2 interceptions, 2 fumble recoveries. So that man's doing a lot of work, but they're a little bit more balanced. Now, let me take a look real quick. Got to make sure on these injuries because, well, Jake Pope, defensive back, 72 tackles, 1.5 sacks, 2 pass deflections, 1 interception. Jaheim Joseph is a safety, but they don't have a lot of safeties that are doing all the work, so that's a good sign. 60 tackles, 3.5 sacks. I don't like it that your safety's coming up for a sack. 3 pass deflections, 2 forced fumbles, 1 fumble recovery. Andrew Powdrell, 55 tackles, 5 pass deflections. So this is a defense that's got numbers. They work as a team. Penalties, 93 for 817, 68 yards a game. They're not very disciplined, but they've got not an amazing, but they've got a good offensive line, but a decent one. But their rush attack knows what they're doing. Anthony Calendra, the man's RPO all the way. But they've also got a wide receiving room that knows what they're doing. Their weaknesses are offensive line. They don't strip the ball near as much as I would like to see. They've got a mid pass defense. You know, but it's a balanced team. I like the numbers here when you're looking at these two, when you're looking at both sides of the ball. Both of them are good teams, but unfortunately they do only have Anthony Calendar right now. Both Alex Orji and Cameron Friel are injured right now. So that could show out this game. Now Boise. Can't talk about their QB1 because he's injured and out. Max Cutforth, 80 of 140, 57.1 completion rate, 857 yards, thrown 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, been sacked 8 times. This offensive line is also not doing their quarterbacks any favors, but it's doing decent for what they've got. They've got 19 touchdowns through the air, but unfortunately 15 of those came from Maddox Madsen. Got 9 interceptions, 7 of which came from Madsen, 2 of which has come from Cutforth. Having 3 touchdowns through the air, but 2 interceptions, not a good look. Their run game, now let me double check here because we've got, injuries to have to worry about. No major running back injury. Dylan Riley, 164 carries, 1,016 yards, 10 touchdowns, 77-yard long run. So Dylan Riley doing a lot of work. Sire Gaines, 144 carries, 731 yards, 46-yard long run, 7 touchdowns. He's doing the work, but he's not getting as much yards. Malik Sherrod, 79 carries, 394 yards, 4 touchdowns. Cameron Bates has got 2 touchdowns. Yeah, Maddox Madsen did get 3. Max Cutforth's got none. So they got 27 touchdowns on the ground. They're 19 through the air. Latrell Capples, 43 catches, 515 yards, 3 touchdowns. Chris Marshall, 24 for 467, 2 touchdowns. Ben Ford's third leading and's got one of their longs. Who's got 5 touchdowns, but he's out. He's injured. Matt Lauder, 30 catches, 286 yards, only got 1 touchdown. Quentin Brown's got 2 touchdowns. They got So that's their 19 touchdowns, with a few others having catches and touchdowns. But their wide receiver room has got some good guys there. Got to give them that. Um, but their quarterbacks are having the problem of they can't get the ball to the right team. Now, on defense, several injuries. They got 21 sacks, not getting to the opposing quarterback as much. 28 pass deflections, 14 interceptions, three of which they scored on. So they've got a decent, not a great, but a decent pass defense. Their defense is getting to the opposing quarterback, not that much, but enough. 8 forced fumbles, 7 fumble recoveries. Not the same as UNLV there. Now, Todd Benefield has got 90 tackles, 2 pass deflections, 2 interceptions, 1 forced fumble. Now, let me make sure here. I'm going to have to keep looking back and forth on the injury report here. Marco Notarini has got 63 tackles, 1.5 sacks, 2 pass deflections, 1 fumble recovery. A little bit too much of a drop off there, but not too bad. Now, their safeties aren't having to do a lot of work here. Zion Washington, 56 tackles, 1 sack, 1 pass deflection, 1 interception. And Bone Phelps has got 54 tackles, 1 interception that he took back 33 yards for a touchdown, and 1 fumble recovery. These guys are also being very team oriented. You're seeing a little less tackling ability at Boise State. Penalty wise, you're looking at 88 of 732 or 782, 65 yards a game. So they're not that disciplined either. You know, they're down to their QB2, who is okay. They're having to rely on the run game, which, hey, Spencer Danielson knows that he can rely on his run game. It's a Boise team that's got a decent to okay defense. I mean, it's not a bad team at all, but injuries are hurting them bad. I'm looking at this and I'm going, Boise's at home. They play different when they're on the blue turf. But I'm looking at the numbers. I'm looking at the fact that Dan Mullins is probably wanting to bring something to UNLV, and he's got a team that can do it. With Madsen out, Boise State, and also having Ben Ford out, that's not good for this team, for this Broncos team. Mullins has got most of his team still there. You've got a really balanced offense, a pretty darn good defense going up against an offense that's hurting, a defense that is not bad, not good. It's mid. I'm going to say that UNLV should, third time's a charm kind of situation. I'm saying that UNLV should win the Mountain West title this year. Both these teams being in it, in all honesty, is also part of the reason why this is why the Mountain West had so many leads. But Boise, is there. UNLV, I'm not surprised that they're there. They earned it this year. Going to be an interesting game to watch. I really do think so. Boise, in all honesty, hasn't proven that they were able to take it to the next level this year. But they still made it to the conference championship. I'm still wondering about that whole in the room with the computer and the committee there, but this brings in the money. Boise brings in the money, and they're going to be staying with the Mountain West. So that's probably a lot of the thought process. Honestly, I do believe UNLV should win this game. I could be wrong. Boise, had after what they did at Utah State, they could be they could be spoiling for a fight, especially when it's UNLV. I don't know if this is a rivalry, but it pretty much looks like it. And it's on the blue turf. So this could be that. Could be that blue turf shows all that they need to do. But UNLV will be fighting for it, I think, a little bit harder. And they've got the players that's not hurt to be able to do it. So that's why I'm saying Rebels. This has been Paul with Redneck Sports. Y'all have a good day now. Bye. I hope that you liked the video. I really do. Hit like and subscribe for me, because I'm going to come out with far more videos and you get all kinds of chance. Also, don't forget, my link tree is down below. You can get to my Patreon that way or go to my other stuff. This has been Paul. Have a good day.